Hello, welcome back if you've been around for a while, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what Ani and I are going through today, and that is how to deal with a grumpy, I think, overly tired toddler. Let's jump into it. Alright, so obviously daylight savings was this weekend. We sprung ahead an hour. Initially, Monday, Tuesday, it seemed like Ani was actually not affected by the time change at all, other than she was sleeping in a little bit more than normal, which in our book was great because she gets up so early on a typical day. However, as the week has gone on, she has started having more trouble at bedtime. She is still sleeping in, but that seems to have thrown off her nap a little bit and shortened it. So it is what it is. It's just something we're dealing with, but it's led to a slightly grumpier Ani than I normally deal with, and I thought I would just talk about how I deal with that. So I just set her up with an activity, and the main way I deal with having a grumpy toddler is I give her choices for every activity. So right now I offered her either her play fruits and vegetables or her sorting tower, and she's doing her sorting tower. Giving her choices, even though she's really little, not to necessarily understand control, it does give her some control over her situation, but ultimately as the parent, I have primary control because I'm giving her the choices that I'm okay with. In addition to that, I'm not holding her to our normal routine. We are still going to go through our normal sort of schedule of things in order, but whereas I normally do 15-minute to 30-minute chunks of time, today I'm going to plan for like 5 minutes tops on any one activity, and I'm going to be flexible with that. So if we get into something and she does not want to do it, she's crying, she's refusing, I'm not going to kind of try to push through it like I normally would. I'm going to back off and give her 2 other choices. On the flip side of that, if an activity does go longer, that's great. We will do whatever activity we're working on for as long as she's happy to do it. For her, it just tends to work. I know some kiddos will just kind of keep doing things and, you know, maybe you pay for it down the road. But with Ani, if she's generally invested and interested in doing something, the longer you can let that go on, the better. So yeah, sort of a combination of keeping things in the normal order, but playing around with the time expectations. And then on top of that, she is a kiddo who is a very interesting combination of wild, go, 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 and then very determined and focused when we're doing more sedentary activities. So my plan is to alternate those activities even more intentionally than normal. We'll do something calm and sitting, or at least I'll offer something calm and sitting, and then we'll do something that's gross motor and active. So an example of that already this morning is we read books, and then when she was done reading books, we got up, I put some music on, and we danced around. And then when we were done with dancing around, we went and sat at the table and played with her paint sticks. So you can kind of see that pattern of sitting, busy, sitting, and for her that works so much better than trying to do something that's all go, 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 or something that's all just sitting. So you know your kiddo, you know what they like and what works for them, so obviously you're going to have to play around with that for your child, but that's what works here. Once she's done with the activity that she's doing, I'm going to go ahead and offer her snack a little earlier than normal. She didn't eat a great breakfast, so I'm wondering if potentially she's hungry. So I'm going to go out in a couple of minutes and see what we have that might interest her. And then same as always, I'll give her 2 choices. And then when snack's done, I think we'll go outside and play for as long as I can make that last. And then we'll come back in and do some sensory activities. So let's jump into all those things. First thing I like to check is see if she's hungry or thirsty. It's a little before our normal snack would be, but I'm going to go ahead and see if she wants something. So I have a little glass of water, and then this is some baked peanut butter chocolate chip oatmeal that she and I made yesterday. And my guess is she is hungry. She didn't have a very big breakfast, so I'm hoping that this can fill her tummy. And then I think we might try to go outside. She generally likes that. It's calming, so we'll see. First up is some swinging, specifically because this is her preferred outside activity. Either this or her slide, but she chose to swing. So we'll do this for a little bit. And then once she's sort of seems done with this activity, I'm going to see if I can get her to either do her sandbox or maybe her kinetic sand, something a little tactile, because we're getting some gross motor sensory input, some vestibular input, and then I want her to get some tactile input. So this is what we're going to do outside. I'll check back in when we're done swinging. Is that a chain? Can you say chain? Chain. Ani is playing with a chain. I'm just happy we found something that will keep her occupied and actually burn a fair amount of energy. That chain isn't crazy heavy, but for a tiny little frame like that, it's a decent amount of weight to pick up and drop over and over again. Never mind her crazy hair. She was not in the mood to let me brush it. Oof. Or put it up today, which is fine. But it's a little wild because she had a bath yesterday. Is that fun? You putting the chain in the sand? Back inside, I offered her the choice of either Orbeez or dried pasta in her sensory bin, and she picked Orbeez. You may or may not be able to see. Immediately after we sat down, she did a big splash and spilled some of the water in that little half egg all over herself. So I'll probably end up changing her when this activity is done, but that's okay. We did lots of high energy things outside, and now we're gonna just do some low energy, quiet. She really likes water, and honestly, if she was having a little bit of a grumpier morning, I would do a BATH, but I like that to be my big gun activity for days that I really need it. Today is not a day I would normally give her a BATH, but I want to keep that in reserve in case she wakes up from her nap even grumpier. That's an activity she'll happily do even on a bad day for 45 minutes to an hour, as long as obviously I keep the water warm. So that one is a go-to for me whenever I can. If it's a really rough day, I'll offer that. But in lieu of that, she's generally happy to just do some water play in her sensory bin. Are you having fun? Are the water beads warm or cold? I'm not going to say. I put some warm water in there, so they're warm for a change. It was a little chilly when we were outside, not too bad. But I thought coming into some warm water might be nice. Okay, so as you can see there, she actually ate that entire oatmeal square and drank most of her water. We went outside and she did some heavy work. You know, she did things that took her whole body. She actually went up and down her slide a bunch of times after we were done swinging. She was carrying that heavy chain around. She played in the sensory sand. She was all over the place. We had a bunch of wind last night, so there's some fairly big sticks in the backyard, and she was dragging those around too, so that's great. Right now, it's about 10:30. She's actually asking for what she calls Sana Sana, which is Baby Einstein. I don't normally let her do screen time this close to nap time, but I think today I'm going to, because that will allow me to make her lunch without her underfoot and whining and crying, which is what I would expect to happen. So as you can see, she's just a little clingier and cuddlier than normal too, which I'm totally fine with. She does still have somewhat of a wet onesie. I have offered to change her clothes 2 times now, and 2 times you've said no, 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 right? So she's still, no. So she's still wearing this. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna let her watch. You want Baby Einstein? Sana. Not yet, almost. So I'm gonna put Baby Einstein on for her. I'm gonna make her lunch. Oh, koala. Wombat. Kangaroo. You like it when they jump? Oh my goodness. I think you're being extra silly. Are you watching Baby Einstein? What's that? What are they? Penguins! Good job. I like watching this with you. I just wanted to put a little clip in of her watching Baby Einstein. When I can, if she's doing screen time, I try to sit with her so we can talk. So we can talk a little bit about what she's seeing and, you know, just some vocab development and some interaction instead of just mindless entertainment. But we're gonna get back to it. In the event that I don't check in this afternoon, we're gonna do the same thing this afternoon that we did this morning. Quiet sitting activities, busy gross motor activities in rotation. And then, like I said earlier, I will keep a BATH in my back pocket. Probably gonna need to do that closer to when Lauda gets home. I think part of the struggle this week is she got used to Lauda being here last week for spring break, and now she's missing her, the time change. It's thrown everything off. So yeah, those are my maybe not so impressive tips and tricks for dealing with a grumpy toddler. It's offering more of what your child likes, keeping your expectations a little lower, and being exceptionally flexible. And honestly, caffeine. If we had caffeine, I would have some caffeine, but I don't. I drank my emergency one earlier in the week, so I'm gonna just muddle through it. It'll be all right. But yeah, so if I don't check back in this afternoon, we'll see you next time. Bye!